You're in your living room. Your younger sibling is yelling at your parents. Turns out he was playing and broke the family vase. Your parents tell him that they're grounded and go to the room as a punishment. Was this punishment just? Was it the correct form of punishment? Was this really a punishment at all? What's the best way to go about punishing a child? This is an area many parents find difficult to master, one that should be brought up to the light and solved. As the son of a social worker, my mother is very well versed in the art of discipline and its elusive ways. I have been raised by the book, you could say. Today I will explain the problem and solutions of child discipline, what qualifies as just or unjust forms of discipline, and why we should be aware of the gray line that is discipline. In human society, we live on a razor edge. We all strive to behave in an orderly and uniform manner. This is because in the civilized world, we are taught to do so. Without these social understandings, the barrier that separates us from animals would fall. What keeps us in check? What is instilled in us to act so civilized and keep us together? The answer is simple: discipline. At a very young age, we are taught the importance of respect and manners, and also to respect authority, which in this case is our parents. Parents are there to instill in us our core values and teach us things as simple as right or wrong. According to the Pediatric Child Health 2007, discipline is a structure that helps the child fit into the real world happily and effectively. This creates the child's ability to survive in our society and teaches responsibility, and in this case, social responsibility. The issue with child discipline is how do you know when said punishment fits the crime? And what image do you create in the child's eyes of yourself? We often ask ourselves, are we doing the right thing? This phrase has been uttered for hundreds of years, over 1 million times for different reasons. But for this example, it's used to figure out if you're treating your child in an acceptable parental manner. You have to look at scenarios or problems your children create when misbehaving in a logical manner, in an acceptable manner. For example, don't deny your child dinner because they left the light on in the room. This is even seen as textbook mistreatment. Don't create cruel or odd punishments for your child for such minute little problems. According to Dinkmeyer-Don and Gary McKay, the Parent's Handbook, logical consequences permit a child to learn from the reality of the social order. That is, they acknowledge mutual respect. For the consequences to be effective, the child must see them as logically related to their misbehavior. Remember to self-reflect and imagine how the child views your punishment. If you were in their shoes, would it seem just? Make sure you have control of the situation as well and hold your ground. Don't alter the repercussions. Now to the real issue. When does punishment become mistreatment, and what exactly is in the gray area that so often alters our judgment? When discussing fragile topics such as this, we often need a clear set of rules to what to do. We do know that what's right or wrong. We can speculate, but every situation is different. No child or parent are the same, but then again, this is no excuse. We should all know basic forms of what is right or wrong, and need to implement them accordingly. Our first issue is corporal punishment. This is a very gray area. Some swear by it, others condemn it. No matter your personal opinions, in every professional study I've seen, this is seen as wrong, period. As well, we should all know, never physically threaten your child either. This is close to corporal punishment and creates harm emotionally. Both are wrong and should never be used. The same goes for depriving your child of food as punishment. In fact, social services have written this down as textbook mistreatment. So obviously don't do it. These rules may seem obvious to some, but in most cases these forms of punishment are very commonplace. Instead, parents should utilize non-physical forms of punishment such as timeout, loss of privileges, verbal redirection, or simply verbal reprimand. These may seem as a very soft form of punishment, but have been shown to be effective if correctly applied. You as a parent are constantly learning and should be affecting your practice at all times. Parents often have disciplinary issues. As a solution, the actions to take would be most time would be professional touch. I believe the first time parents should highly consider attending parental classes through your local social services office or family resource center, as these are readily available. A very common option would be to acquire books on parenting strategies, as these help create a basic guides for parents to follow. You should also develop a social network of friends and family members to help out when you're overwhelmed. However, according to the United States Administration for Children and Families, the most important thing you do is remain calm and do not let your child's behavior cause you to lose control. I hope this information has shed light on the issue on how to discipline a child safely. I want to emphasize what is important To us all, regardless if you have a child now or ever, our children are our best hope for a better tomorrow. Child abuse is often a problem hidden from society. We often fail to see this occurring because no light is ever shed onto it to the public. No longer can this be acceptable, and we need to focus on a solution to prevent further acts of child abuse. A Kentucky judge was quoted as saying, "Instead of stories about a puppy being thrown from a truck window, as bad as that is, we should be reading about the dozens of children who are being killed or nearly killed by their own families every day." Chef John, Lexington Herald Leader.